This is light work. Let me testify.
You all are doing the work. If you're like me, you're finally hearing what your body has been trying to tell you. And now you're standing there like, okay, now what? Because listening is the easy part. Because now you actually have to do something with what you heard. And most of us don't know how to do that without either ignoring it again or trying to fix it some way, somehow. So, today, we're not talking about what your body is saying anymore. We already did that. Today, we're talking about what happens after you've heard it. How do you actually partner with your body instead of fighting it? Let's talk about it.
Yes, let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Yes Work podcast. I am Dr. DQ.
I'm Lady B.
And I'm Dr. Blair.
If this is your first time with us, welcome. And if you've been walking with us since season one, thank you, thank you, thank you for still being here. So, real quick, for anybody just joining, last episode we sat in something heavy. We talked about how stress doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your body. Tight shoulders, that clenched jaw, and the way your chest gets tight before a hard conversation or even not with a hard conversation, right? We talked about the body keeping score. So, how that suppressed emotion doesn't disappear, it just relocates. And we ended the episode asking you one question: what has your body been trying to tell you? So, we're not going to re answer that question today. If you haven't heard the last episode, pause this, go back and listen, and then come right back. Come right back. Because today's episode assumes that you already know whatever your own personal diagnosis is. So, today we're not talking about noticing how that stress has landed somewhere in your body. We're taking the next step, which honestly might be a little harder than actually noticing what's happening in our bodies.
Okay, so let's name today's concept very clearly for you. I don't want people hearing listen to your body and assume that that's what we're revisiting. That's not it. Today's concept is rebuilding trust with your body. And trust is the operative word here because most of us don't have a listening problem. We good listeners. We just good students. Or at least not after last episode. Hopefully, you don't have no listening problem no more. We have a trust problem. So if your body has been sending you signals for some of us years and you overrode it for those years, your body basically stopped expecting you to respond. That's what chronic dysregulation is. In part, it's not just the body is stressed, it's the body has learned it can't count on you. So this is what I'm going to do because this person that's housing me acting funny and I can't trust them. When we do this and we talk about it this way, it reframes the whole thing. It's not just about physical tension. It's a relationship that we've kind of breached with our body. So rebuilding trust with your body looks like consistency. It is small. It's repeated moments where you actually respond to what it's telling you instead of pushing past it that one more time because you have to be superwoman and you have to be all these things. A misconception people have here, and I would think one of the biggest one is that people think rebuilding trust is like one big gesture, a retreat, a detox, a reset week, my monthly massages, but it's not that. Trust isn't rebuilt in grand gestures. I think we know that because we've potentially been heartbroken, right? And we've had a colleague, a friend, a partner, do something that has really impacted us. And we have to think about when trust is rebuilt in that sense, it's whether they show up in the small ways, repeatedly, consistently. So it's less spa day and more, did you actually go lie down when your body said lie down? Or did you get back up? Now, we all know get back up again. We all know the different songs, but sometimes you didn't need to get back up so quickly. That's sabotage, right? This is where people accidentally undo the work that they have been working so hard for. They start listening to their bodies, but you listening with an agenda. You notice the exhaustion, and instead of resting, you turn it into a project. I'm going to fix this exhaustion. I'm going to fix this fatigue and tiredness. And now healing yourself has become another thing that you're managing instead of a relationship that you're actually building with your body. So the trap isn't ignoring your body anymore. The trap is managing your body. Overriding and optimizing are actually the same instinct wearing different clothes. And that's what we really want to unpack in this particular episode.
Mm, yes, Dr. Blair. No, that is good information. Woo! Okay. So that's the frame for today. Like we're not talking about noticing. We're talking about whether your body can actually trust you now. Okay. Can your body like really think to yourself, can your body trust you? I don't
And can
know.
you trust your body?
Can you trust, girl? I can't trust my body right now because I
I
ain't
can't
did
trust
what
these
I was supposed
knees.
to do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some personal things, our own lives, what's happening right now. So I want to ask y'all something. I want some real answers, okay? Not the
Hot seat.
podcast answers, which we always give the real answers over here on the Yes Work
Hmm.
podcast. So when did you realize that your body wasn't the enemy?
I laugh because for me, it was when I realized I need this thing to do the things that I'm trying to do. So it was the constant ignoring to the point where it's like, man, I feel like I should probably go to the doctor for this. Or, you know what I mean? Or again, other people are saying something. If you didn't hear about it, go back to that last episode. But other people are pointing out to me certain things. And then I realized, oh, I need my body so I can maintain what I want to do, or this image of, you know, the superwoman and all these other things. So I was like, I have to tend to you. I have to make, like, it's our car. It's like a car, right? I have
Yeah,
to get a tune up after so many miles. I have to get oil changes every,
yeah,
we drive a lot, every month and a half. So doing those things actually feeds into my goals and aspirations. It doesn't help me to ignore it. So, yes, those moments where I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, body. I realized that
hmm,
I was hurting you by not tending to you the proper way. And now you down for the count.
yeah. I love that you said that, Dr. Blair, because I really think that so oftentimes we don't realize it's not until you get to that certain age when you realize, like, oh my God, I need this body. I need
Mm.
to take care of the body. I
Yes.
need to pour this. I need to moisturize my skin. Like I may have skipped a few days without some lotion, but I need, you just
Looking like
need
a
vitamins.
reptile. That's how
I
it is.
cannot.
I'm
I
so glad you
cannot.
said that because if I go, I'm telling you, be getting scaly skin looking like a lizard. If you go one day, rebuild trust with your body, y'all. Consistently lotion your body and
Oh,
your
that's
ankles.
good.
Somebody
Read.
needed that word, Dr. DQ. You
They
laughing, but
did.
somebody
No,
needed that.
Yeah,
I
somebody
listen.
somebody really
They
needed that
did.
because that lotion, like that, go back to that cocoa butter, right?
Okay.
You need that. But there's so many things. We don't look at our body as our partner, as our friend, as like
That
the
part.
vehicle that really is long term. So I love that you said that. That's a great.
That's
What about you, Dr. DQ?
Well, I don't think there was like a single moment, right? But I do know that there were times that I had so much to do. I wanted to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I was like, let me just go to sleep. And you know how you have those naps that's supposed to be 30 minutes and they turn into 2 hours, 3 hours. And
yes.
then when you get
No,
up,
I don't.
girl,
That sounds
girl.
nice.
Now,
You better
granted,
come
this
on.
was
Join
like
the crew.
pre kids, but then I would give my body that rest. And when I woke up, I felt better. There was one time, when I was on a weight loss journey or a phase of my weight loss journey,
Silly.
and I slept, and the next morning I didn't get up and work out the way I had planned to. I rested, I let my body rest, and I was thoroughly pleased with the number on the scale that morning just
Come
because
on.
I had given my body what it needed, not what I wanted it to have, if that makes sense. So it was like, oh, let me listen to my body and just give it what it's telling me instead of what
Yeah.
I wanted to have.
I love that. Yeah, giving your body what it needed and not what it wanted to have. Because so many times our body, our minds will tell us, you want sugar, you
Girl,
want soda,
pasta.
you
Yes.
want pasta. Especially don't let you have a stressful day and you say,
Mm.
oh, this is how I'm gonna cope with some pasta, some heavy food, a good old,
Mm,
you know,
Star
and a
Crunch.
big old bag of chips, girl. Sounds great. But really, ultimately, what your body needs is the rest, is
Mm-hmm.
water, hydration, and like the the vitamins. How are you nourishing it that way? We forget what our body needs. So another question, when we think about our bodies, right? We tend to build habits. We tend
Mhm.
to make plans or for our bodies. So when you think about habits, what habits have you all had in the past?
You know, I think that's a really great question. I think
Mm,
I'm hoping listeners are wrestling through it as we are in real time. I think about specifically how I will work to make sure that something is done. And I think this goes back to our episode around faithfulness and how we will associate faithfulness with like tiring ourselves out and, working until we can't work no more in order to produce the thing, as opposed to having it being more intimate and being about relationship. And so I will put a block of time on my calendar, personal or professional, and I am going to get whatever I need to get done in that block of time, or I'm going to move it to the next day. But that's a habit that I have because I'm like, this shows my family that, like, this is when mommy's doing this and this is when she's focused. It shows my colleagues
Mhm.
when they creep on my calendar, like, oh, she got this work block right here. And it was a habit I was creating, but you would look at my calendar, and still sometimes to this day, and it's back to back to back to back to back to back. And I have no space in there for me, for eating, for even travel sometimes if I'm coming from a doctor appointment and then going to, you know what I mean? So that was a habit that I had, and I was like, this is showing that I'm disciplined and that I can get things done and that I'm effective and I'm organized and I am overwhelmed because it's
Mhm.
ridiculous. It wasn't real. I mean, it wasn't realistic to maintain that.
I think I
That's a good question.
can tag on to that as well. I think about when I first started teaching and I was essentially working 12-hour days. And I would
Yeah.
get up, I'd go to work, I'd get at work at 6:30 in the morning, leave at 4, 4:30, bring work home and do more work. So I was being disciplined. I was doing what I needed to do. I was a first year teacher. I was making it happen. And I really didn't have that work life balance where I could devote time to myself.
That's good. That's real good. And I think that so many times we are putting our bodies in this pace of go, 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 and not taking that time to just to sit, to hear what it's telling us to do, and making those moments or creating those habits that really create that discipline. And so I'm actually still learning. I'm on that journey of
Mm-hmm.
learning how to really build that discipline. But we have to. It's needed. It's needed for our bodies. And I think about just the sleeping piece, like
Mm.
the habits of just making sure I have enough time for my body to recuperate after a long day and those hours of sleep. Like I remember, years ago, you able to operate off of 4 hours, 3 hours of sleep and go. And now I feel like I need like a full 10 hours of
Okay.
sleep.
Girl, from the club to the bed to work.
Telling you,
Yes,
them days is they gone.
they are gone. So I am telling you. So we know that this feeling, like it's still hard. It feels hard. We have those moments when you might be in a crisis where you are trying to figure out what to do, how to manage, how to balance your
Mhm.
stress. So or your body and just the signals and the signs that it's telling you. So today, when you think about it, what still feels hard? What are you still struggling with?
That work life balance is still a challenge
Mm.
because my life has grown. It's gotten more complex than it was back then. So if I were single, living by myself, no children, I'd be in this thing, okay? I would have it perfected. I could write a book about it. But because my life continues to evolve,
Yes.
the way work life balance shows up is ever evolving. And so just still trying to figure that out. So that can still feel hard sometimes. Saying no and putting stuff down can still feel hard sometimes. And
Mhm.
like even this morning, Corey was getting dressed. My husband was helping her get dressed. And when it was time for them to leave, because usually I take her to school, but during these summer hours, Jason has been taking her. She started crying when she saw me this morning, and she didn't want Jason to take her, but I was strong. I was like, bye, bye,
Good for
Oh,
have a good day.
you. Where she said bye.
yeah.
I love you. Have a good day. Go with that dad.
That's
One of the
great.
things that you said, Dr. DQ, was that because you think about, I think about this all the time. Like, if my life was different,
Mm,
right? If it was this way, if I didn't have, if I wasn't married, if I was still single, and like, it would be so different. It would be so much easier, right? And, I always, I battle that in my mind, those thoughts. Like, would it? Because I also
mm.
think it's always going to be something,
It's
right?
different. Yeah, it's gonna
It
look
is
different.
it is always something that's going to look different. It's always evolving. So I love that you said that, because I know that many of our listeners and many of us are thinking like, girl, if you I could be an
And
expert
don't,
on that life.
girl,
Mm,
and not to be confused, I wouldn't trade anybody or any of it
Right.
for anything, right?
Right.
But just calling out that that's a fact, that it looks different now than it did when I was in my 20s, when I
Hmm.
could even devote 12 hours to my job. Girl, but I can't do that today. I got
I know.
another job when I get home, being mom, being chauffeur, being wifey. So,
I love that.
that's good. I this is a little different from work life or life work balance, but I think the integration of just all the different identities, mom, entrepreneur, professional, wife, friend, sister, all these things, and integrating those so that it doesn't feel like heavy or overwhelming. Like, I got my line sisters now, and they know we have a sister call every 2 weeks at 9 o'clock, and I've gone to, I think, two, and it's been months that we've been
girl,
doing
is
this.
that AM or PM?
PM. I know. See, you like, girl, what you mean 9 o'clock at night? Yeah, but I want to be there because the two that I've
Hmm.
gone to, I'm like, oh my goodness, and it all
Hmm.
started from our text and us saying like we miss each other.
That's
Hmm.
beautiful.
So I
Hmm.
I want it, and I'm tired. So how
Hmm.
do I? And it's on the calendar, y'all. And if it's on the calendar, you know that it exists. But even still, I still will be like, hey, ladies, I'm really tired. Or I will wake up some days and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it for that 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Girl, what
Blair,
you
it's
do? Send
7
a
a.m.
picture, say proof of life, and send them a selfie.
I should start doing that. They probably would appreciate that. That's wild. But yeah, I think it's that piece. That's still hard for me because I do want to be that friend. I feel bad when someone has to reach out to me to say, "Hey girl, how you doing?" And I think I've shared this. Like, Dr. DQ is really good about that. And every time she called, I'm like, God dang it, I told myself to put it on the calendar to call her. So then she didn't think about me being like, I'm always calling Blair and she'll never call me. And I know she's shaking her head right now, but I be feeling bad.
Not at all, because listen, this is the trick. This is what I do. Y'all know my commutes in the afternoon are about an hour and a half. So in the car, I'm like, who I need to call, who I need to check on.
Yeah.
And don't tempt me now. I am not above a pre-scheduled text. So when I think
Okay.
about you at 4:35 in the morning, I'm gonna type that text and I'm gonna hold that
I
send
love it.
button and let it pop up so I can say what time to send. Because I know my
Yes.
availability is not everybody else's, but I still want you to know, like, hey, I was thinking about you, checking on you,
Thinking
let me
about you.
call you.
Yeah.
Girl, schedule that text. Take that
Yeah.
selfie, proof of life,
Yeah.
send that on. But yeah, I do it to pass the time in my car. And anybody that's ever talked to me in the afternoon after 4 o'clock when I have Miss Corey in the back seat, y'all know she be part of the conversation too. So
Yeah.
She do. She do. I love my
Wow.
conversations with Dr. DQ and Corey.
Love
I
it.
do, I do. But yeah, it's hard for me because I care about all of those pieces.
Hmm.
And I think just to be candid to our listeners, we've had, hence why we do season pauses now, right? We needed that time and that rest and to be able to be stewards of what we tell you all to do and have that intentionally built in our process. So it feels, again, I love the thing and then it just feels hard sometimes. So the
Yes.
struggle real.
Yeah, the struggle is real. And I
She
love that you
real.
said it and called it out, because it is something that I feel like that's something I personally deal with. I think for some of us, like, there's this image, right? There's this image in your head that is like, okay, I'm a good friend, I'm a good daughter, I'm a good wife. I can do these things. I can communicate effectively. I can be present when needed. I can be fully in that role, in that position when I'm needed to be. And the reality is that life happens and
Mm,
things come in, and there's distractions, or there are things, and it takes you off, and you begin to think that people are looking at you a certain way or judging you for that. And the truth is that, like Dr. DQ said, no, girl, I'm good. A text is fine back, But I know if anybody, any listeners are hard on themselves, like I am on myself, like I am the biggest critic of myself. And that's a challenge, because you definitely want to be there and show up for people, especially as they show up and they're there for you. But really, sometimes time just does not allow. So when I think about just our conversation so far today, like I think the whole point of today is that what we are experiencing today is not the finish line. What our bodies are encountering, what just our life challenges or anything, is not the finish line. Right? This is a relationship that we're building, that we're rebuilding one response at a time, how we interact and engage with our bodies, with ourselves, with others, one response at a time.
So let's shift gears a little bit. So I want to talk about a trap that's very specific to right now culturally. Because we've moved past the era of ignoring our body, now we're actually in the era of optimizing it. So, what am I talking about? Biohacking, tracking your sleep score, your HRV, doing the cold plunges. I ain't did that, but somebody out there might have. Those supplement stacks, we talked about vitamins a little while ago, having those morning routines, trying to get
Yes.
everything in by 6 a.m. You got your water jug with the time on it, and every time
Right.
you feel motivated, you buy another jug because it's pretty.
Yep.
And this font
Yes.
is in Arial instead of Times New Roman, or it's a script, so it's my personality. I got the new workout clothes and all that good stuff. It's never ending, right? So on the surface, yes, that looks like care, but is it authentic? That's what I'm wondering, because it almost feels performative again, like it's an instinct to perform. And just to be clear, y'all know on this podcast, we preach and we advocate for rest. But be careful that you're not making this another level of stress. Some people become so focused on it that instead of optimizing their resume, they're optimizing their nervous system. Instead of achieving at work, they're achieving at rest, and they're making it like a competition to where it's not quite healthy, right? That rest becomes a metric. And so then when you're checking your ring, you're checking your watch, while it's rooted in something good, just be careful that you're not actually making that something else that you're anxious about.
Yep.
Oh,
That
girl.
sleep score. That hit
Girl,
somebody right there, like, oh, I need my sleep score above 85 every night.
girl. And then you feel like you
Yeah.
failed if that sleep
Mhm.
score was a 72. And what does that do to you? Because if you wake
Stress me
up,
out more.
exactly, it stress you out more. And it automatically puts you in a certain mind frame for the day where you're going to expect your day to be less than stellar because your sleep score wasn't what you deemed necessary or appropriate for you to have that stellar day. So then what happens is the tool that was meant to help you actually becomes another burden in a sense, right? And then y'all see it on social media. Everybody's health and their healing journey looks amazing. It looks easy. It looks simple. They got the green juice, the journal. How many journals y'all done bought? Right? And they got the sunrise. They're on the beach,
Hmm.
just soaking in the sun. It's curated. It's
Hmm.
for clicks sometimes, and that might not be real. So when you assess your messy 3 steps forward, 2 steps back type of journey, I mean, you compare that to somebody else's real, you feel like you're failing.
Yep.
You feel like you're failing. I see people all the time. They are just as busy as I am, I think, and yet they're working out every day. I'm like, man, how are y'all so consistent? Where's your energy coming from? What's going on?
Dr. DQ, I'm always asking that question. I'm sorry to interrupt
You're
you, because
okay.
I'm always like, wait, I know there's people who do the same job I have. I know there's other women who are overly committed to ministry outside of work, their wives, their parents. They're meal prepping, somehow they're working out,
Yep.
Somehow they're getting all their sleep. What am I doing? And really, I know that there's something else that, there's
Yes.
got to be something else there. But I ask that question all the time.
It's so honest. I'm glad you interrupted and made that statement because it's true. I feel like we are a group of high achieving women, and yet it's so easy for us to recognize the gaps in our health or our physical needs. And, we see it. We know we need to do something about it. We want to do something about it. We're trying to figure out how other people are able to do something about it. So it's almost one, the sense of comparison, but two, almost a sense of disappointment in ourselves because we don't have it perfect or we don't have it figured out. And I think ultimately it's because as high achieving women, this feels like another achievement that escapes us. Okay. So, when we think about it as achievement, it's something we're already familiar with. Unfortunately, we kind of look at it as a scoreboard, right? Our goal is to work out X number of days. And while that's what the health experts tell us, am I more stressed if I don't meet that? Or how does that play into my body and my stress levels if I'm giving 100% and still not able to meet that goal? So for us to really partner with our bodies is to ebb and flow, give and take, and ultimately listen to our body, that again just speaks to the need to trust ourselves. Trust ourselves. So, what I want to invite all of our listeners to do today is to just notice when you've turned your healing into another thing to fix or another point where you're comparing yourself to someone else. Because, again, what they put on social media, how easy they make it look, might not really be that reality. We don't know what's going on over there, but we have to focus on what's going on in our lives over here, right? And we also have to define what success looks like. It might not be 3 workouts a week. It might be, listen, I'm going to kick off Sunday night with a strong hour of devotion and exercise. Let me pull up this YouTube video, and you take it one step at a time.
That's good. I want to get specific because I'm hoping that our listeners are able to hear themselves in a lot of what we've shared today in the piece as far as partnership, right? The trust that's needed with your body, how we've gotten really familiar with ignoring certain signs, and that we need to increase this level of collaboration between our mind, body, and life. I want to give some statements, listeners, and hopefully you can hear yourself within one or two of them. Maybe you started healing, but now you're exhausted trying to heal perfectly. Ooh. You journal, but you judge your journal entries. You rest, but you're anxious the whole time you're resting because you feel like you should be doing something with the rest. But go ahead, listeners, just go ahead, raise your hand every
I
time
was
it
like,
speaks to you.
give it to
Guilty.
us.
One for one. I'm gonna
Yep.
find at least two, but I know I'm one for one already. Go ahead.
Come on now. Maybe you know exactly what your body needs. You named it back in episode 29. We appreciate you. But you haven't given your body what it needs. Maybe you're the one who trusts your body in private, but overrides it in public. You'll take the nap when you by yourself, but you'll push through the migraine in the meeting because stopping in front of people feels like weakness. My hand is up on that one.
Mm.
Maybe, and this is a quiet one for some of y'all, maybe you've done all the right things. You've done therapy, rest, boundaries, you taking your vitamins, and you're still waiting to feel like it worked. You're waiting, and the waiting itself is starting to feel like failure. You're not comfortable with that waiting piece. Yeah, that one's for somebody specific today. And again, we're hopeful that you were able to raise your hand or declare or affirm yourself to one of these things. Wherever you just landed, this is not a diagnosis. This is the starting point for the rest of this conversation because more is to be had, right? You're learning to heal, you're learning to trust, so continue to engage.
Mm, I love this. I love it because I landed in just about all of them. So no, that's it's good, and the conversation is great. Okay, so I want to bring us to this point, not to prove that rest is biblical, right? We did that already. Today, I just want to revisit the word abiding. We
Mm.
talked about it in a previous episode, so we're bringing it back up today, specifically with one chapter in particular in John chapter 15. So in that, it reads that Jesus says, he talks about abiding. He says, abide in me as I abide in you. And the word abide, as we know, is not a passive word. It's really relational. It's an ongoing terminology. It's not achieve connection with me. It's more of let's remain in
Mm-hmm.
connection with me. Let's stay in this relationship together. It's not a one-time transaction. Have y'all had that transactional kind of experience, a relationship? That's not what it is with God. So rebuilding trust with your body isn't a transaction. It's abiding. Again, we're in partnership. We're doing this together. We're in connection. It's
Yes.
remaining in that relationship with it day after day, response after response. That tracks with what we said earlier, right? Trust isn't built in one gesture, it's really built in repetition. And then I have just another chapter I just wanted to bring our attention to was in Isaiah 26. It reads, you will keep in perfect peace. All right. Those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Keep in perfect peace, y'all. There's that word again, trust, right? They will trust in you. Trust. It keeps coming back to trust
Right.
every time because I think what God is actually inviting us into is a healed body. He wants us to
Amen.
be healed. He wants us to take care of our bodies. It's some kind of, some kind of finished product, right? We should be proud of what he has given us. So it's an ongoing, abiding relationship with him and with the body that he gave you to carry your life in. So that's different from anything that the wellness industry or the social media stuff that Dr. DQ was speaking to earlier, what it can sell you on. So we know, I've heard it even today, the chimes and high frequency sounds that you can listen to tap into to change, like those things may help and they may help for a moment, but I just want to tell y'all, like, God is there long term,
Come
okay?
on.
So definitely abide in him. And also, nobody's tracking your abiding in your connection score. Like
Mm.
you might be checking on your sleep score. Nobody's checking for that. So although we might feel like it, we feel like people are checking up on us, but they're not. They really aren't. And we thank God for that. Just continue to trust in him.
Mm, that's awesome. And it really makes me think about how important it is for us to trust God and take care of our bodies because our bodies essentially have to go forward to do the work of God and to do the work that God has put us here to do. So we have to listen,
Amen.
trust. So moving along, normally we give you guys a list of what to do, your yes work. This episode, we're going to keep it simple. This week, we just need you to pick one signal that your body gives you. Just one. Probably the same one from last week, so we can have that continuity. But respond to it the same day it happens. And now, let's be honest. Now, we ain't even really challenging y'all because we're not saying respond to it when it happens. We just said do it the same day.
Same
So if
day.
your head is hurting, not telling you to leave your job, you can. But I'm not telling you to leave your job. But just that day, do something to alleviate that migraine. So if your shoulders are tight by 2 p.m., don't wait till Saturday to rest. Do
Right.
something that day, that same day, even if it's something small. All right, but that is the whole yes. That's it. We encourage you to write it down. Write down what your body said and then write down what you actually did in response. And not what you should have done, but what you actually did that same day. I'm going to emphasize that. But that's all we need you guys to do this week. We're not asking you to be perfect. Just respond to your body and give it what it needs. So, one response, one yes, and that's what you're working on this week.
Yes. So don't leave here trying to fix everything you heard today and all the things that you may have jotted down that you now know because you listened to episode 29 last week of all the way your body is trying to tell you something. Just leave here ready to respond to one thing that same day, like Dr. DQ said. Your body's not asking you to optimize it. It's asking you to come back to it, to build relationship and trust with it.
Baby, come
And that's the
back.
yes work. Hey, Thank you all for listening, reflecting, and riding with us. Come back next week. Subscribe, like, comment, share this with someone, and most importantly, stay in the work until God transforms you. He ain't about this transactional life. He about that transformational life. So ride with him. Abide. That's the secular way of saying ride with him. The words say abide.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
We
on the
love y'all.
spectrum.
Right. Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in the middle.
We love y'all. We are excited to have you back next week. Continue doing the yes work.
Bye.
Work, yes, work. Yes, work, yes, work.